Deep within a sun-drenched forest lived a mighty lion named Karalakisara. His roar echoed through the trees, striking fear into the hearts of all creatures. By his side, always alert and cunning, was his trusted companion, a jackal. They were an inseparable pair, the lion's strength complementing the jackal's sharp wit. Together they ruled the forest, their days filled with the thrill of the hunt and the satisfaction of a full stomach. The lion, with his powerful paws and sharp claws, was a force to be reckoned with. The jackal, nimble and quick-witted, would often devise clever strategies, ensuring their success in every hunt. One particularly scorching afternoon, as the sun beat down on the parched earth, the lion and the jackal found themselves lounging under the shade of a sprawling banyan tree. The forest was unusually quiet, the usual symphony of bird calls and rustling leaves replaced by an eerie stillness. The jackal, ever vigilant, noticed the lion's restlessness. "Master Karalakisara," he inquired, his voice laced with concern, "you seem troubled. What weighs heavily on your mind?" The lion, with a tired sigh, responded, "My dear friend, hunger gnaws at my belly, but the heat has driven our prey into hiding. We must find a way to satisfy our hunger before our strength fails us." The jackal, his mind already racing with possibilities, nodded in agreement. He knew that their survival depended on their ability to adapt and overcome challenges. The scorching heat and the scarcity of prey presented a formidable obstacle, but the jackal was not one to be easily deterred. He had an idea, a plan so cunning that it would guarantee them a meal and reaffirm their dominance in the animal kingdom. With a sly grin spreading across his face, he turned to the lion and, in a conspiratorial whisper, began to unveil his plan. The jackal, always on the lookout for an easy meal, suggested they target a nearby herd of deer. The lion, eager to appease his rumbling stomach, agreed. However, their hunt was interrupted by a formidable foe. A massive grey elephant, its tusks like polished swords. A fierce battle ensued, the ground trembling under the weight of their struggle. The lion, though powerful, was outmatched. The elephant, with a mighty swing of its trunk, caught the lion off guard, its tusk tearing through the lion's leg, leaving a deep, gaping wound. The lion roared in pain, the sound echoing through the silent forest. The jackal, witnessing his master's plight, knew they had to retreat. He skillfully distracted the enraged elephant, allowing the injured lion to limp away to safety. They found refuge in a secluded cave, hidden by a curtain of cascading vines. The lion, weakened by his injury, could barely move. The jackal, now both hunter and protector, knew he had to take charge. "My friend," the jackal said, his voice low and soothing as he inspected the lion's wound, "that was a close call. You need rest to heal. Leave the hunting to me." The lion, humbled by the experience and trusting in his companion's abilities, could only nod in agreement. The jackal, ever resourceful, began collecting herbs and leaves, his knowledge of the forest proving invaluable. He carefully cleaned the lion's wound and applied a poultice of crushed herbs, their pungent aroma filling the air inside the cave. The jackal knew that the lion's recovery would be long and arduous. They needed a new strategy, a way to find food without risking further injury to the lion. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the forest floor, the jackal sat beside his wounded companion, his mind racing. He had to devise a plan, and fast. Their survival depended on it. Days turned into nights, and the lion's wound showed little sign of improvement. The jackal, despite his best efforts, struggled to find enough food for both of them. The lion, growing weaker by the day, watched with concern as his friend tirelessly scoured the forest for sustenance. "We cannot go on like this, my friend," the lion groaned one evening, his voice raspy with hunger and despair. "You are tiring yourself out, and we are no closer to a solution." The jackal, perched on a rock beside him, nodded slowly, his eyes reflecting the gravity of their situation. "I have been thinking," the jackal began, his voice low and thoughtful. "We need to find an animal that is easy to catch, an animal that will not put up a fight." The lion, intrigued by his companion's words, lifted his head slightly, his ears perked up in anticipation. "And what animal, my clever friend?" the lion rasped. "Do you have in mind?" A sly grin spread across the jackal's face as he leaned closer to the lion, his voice barely a whisper. There is a watering hole not far from here, he explained, where a foolish donkey comes every day to quench his thirst. He is slow and dim-witted, an easy target for a hunter as skilled as you. The lion's eyes gleamed with a flicker of hope. The jackal's plan, though simple, was brilliant in its audacity. It appealed to the lion's pride, his belief that he could still be the fearsome predator he once was. "Lead the way, my friend," the lion rumbled, his voice stronger than it had been in days. "Let us go and meet this foolish donkey."